Hello everyone, and today we're focusing on Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics, topic of algebra, subtopic of variation. And basically there is two types of variation. We are going to start off with direct variation, and in this you need to understand that in a question, if they mention things like x varies as y varies, or x varies directly as y, or x is proportional to y, this all is basically meaning that it is direct variation. And in terms of notation, you will see that they use this particular symbol to show that x varies as y varies. But any direct variation question can be converted in an equation of the form x equals ky, and going from there, let's look at exactly how you would solve an example. So for example, if you were given that z is proportional to m, and you're given the values of z is equal to 20, m is equal to 4, you need to calculate the value of z when m equals 7. So what you do is you start off by writing the equation for direct variation, which is z equals km, and then the idea is to find the value of k. Once you have found the value of k, you will use it in the second scenario to work out the answer when m is equal to 7. So we start off with 20 equals 4k, which is substituting basically the values that were given initially. And this allows me to solve and get the value for k, which is k equals 5. So then by replacing my original equation with the value of k that I found, 5, I can then substitute the value of m and work out the value for z. So that is the basic structure for all variation questions. And if you practice it well enough, it is one of the easiest areas for you to score marks. So going forward, if you see inverse variation, the only difference is the way the question is worded. You have to take it as varies inversely or inversely proportional sometimes. And what changes in terms of notation is that now it's not x is proportional to y, it is x is proportional to 1 over y. And same way, when you're writing the equation also, it will be x is equal to k over y. So coming to actually solving the equation, so if we look at a similar example, b varying with e, if b is 6 and e is 2, so just like last time, first write the equation, then substitute the value of b and e, find out the value of k, rewrite a new equation with the value of k, and then finally when they give you the new value for e, substitute that and find the value of b. So that's as simple as it is. So hopefully you have caught on to direct variation. Now let's try some questions. Alright, so let's focus on answering some questions. So y varies inversely with the square of x. So we know that when it was varying directly, it was simply writing as y is inversely varying with x. But now it's not just x, it is the square of x that we're talking about here. So it has to be x squared. And when we put the equation, we have to put the value k. So then we substitute in the values for y, and we are substituting for x. So this is equal to 2 times 81 is equal to k. So that's 162 is equal to k. So I can then write my new equation as y equals 162 over x squared. And from here now, if y is 5, 5 equals 162 over x squared. I can rearrange this. So x squared is equal to 162 over 5. So calculate that first, right? So 162 over 5 is 32.4. And then you have to square root that particular answer. So that is going to give me x is a value of 5.69, which is basically option number 3 here. Alright, y varies as t, and if y equals 4 and t equals 5, write an equation between y and t. So this one is basically a simple example of direct variation. So you can write the direct variation formula first, that is y is equal to kt, and then you can substitute 4 equals k into 5. So that is k is equal to 4 over 5, or if you are writing it in decimal form, that is 0.8. So then substituting that in, y is equal to 0.8 t. So looking at it again, my solution will be the third one here. And that brings us to the end of a short lesson on direct and indirect variation, or inverse variation as we call it.
Subscribe us now for more videos and content.